Toastmasters.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I do have the privilege of introducing one of our newest members, Andrew, who will be delivering his second speech. And Andrew, as a public relations practitioner with Payne PR, he supports a blue chip roster of consumer brands from Suzuki to Old Spice to Sony. And throughout the year, he's tasked with creating and leading strategic high-impact programming to drive awareness, reinforce critical corporate messages, and support business objectives and produce measurable results via significant exposure. So, Andrew will share with you today an award-winning cause-related communications initiative that is a mouthful, but it is developed and implemented for Procter & Gamble's Lamb's Pet Food.
Iams.
Oh, Iams. I'm sorry. Iams. Everybody knows Iams. Iams Pet Food. And it's a great title. He's doing speech number 2, which the purpose of this speech is to organize your speech. And we'll be focusing on, the preparation, the speech value, organization, the opening, the body, the conclusion, and how he handles his transitions. The name of his speech is Cats versus Dogs, DAWGS. Can we bring up Andrew?
Yeah. Well, good morning, everyone. I decided to change my topic for the day after attending Nancy's barbecue on Friday, and we were sitting around, Nancy, Scott, and I, talking about our pets. Scott's cats, Nancy's dog, who was right by us on the ground, and then my dogs. And actually, Chuck just brought up the fact that he loves cats as well this morning. So, decided to change my topic and went ahead and wanted to talk about a program that I just completed for Iams Pet Food. Now, I'm sure there are a lot of pet lovers out there. You guys either have cats or dogs. And if you don't, I'm going to talk a little bit about sports too, so hopefully I'll So, basically, every year, 8 million pets are homeless. Can you imagine? 8 million cats and dogs are out there homeless, can't find a loving family. Another 4 million are euthanized each year. I mean, that is just heartbreaking. 4 million pets cannot find a home and are put down. So Iams, over the last 10 years, has done something about this. They've created an Iams Home for the Holidays campaign, and this essentially is a pet adoption campaign to drive people to animal shelters to adopt a pet. Adopt a cat, adopt a dog, adopt a bird, whatever it is. In 2008, it was their 10th anniversary, and so they set a very lofty goal of 1 million animal adoptions for that year. Now, Iams has done a tremendous job generating mainstream consumer awareness and media awareness with celebrity spokespeople like Felicity Huffman, appearances on Oprah, Good Morning America, the Today Show, to drive awareness for their campaign over the 10 years. But in 2008, they actually wanted to target the sports-minded consumer. They wanted to get off the mainstream media and go after the sports editor. So in doing that, they pulled in Payne PR's sports division, which I oversee, and they said, hey, we want to create a sports program that's going to capture the NFL fanatic. Iams Home for the Holidays kicks off every year in October, so this was the perfect time to do it, right in the start of football season. Being that Procter & Gamble is based in Ohio, we decided what better way to do that than to target the 2 NFL franchises that are based in Ohio, the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. So we developed a campaign that we believed was going to generate the amount of awareness it needed for the local campaign. This was only an Ohio State-based campaign, but essentially to drive pet adoptions and help Iams over the national program get to that $1 million mark. We brought in Carson Palmer, quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals, and Derek Anderson, at that time quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, and created a cats versus dogs campaign. Cats being the Bengals, dogs being the Cincinnati Browns, who, if you guys don't know, it's their mascot. I mean, they have the dog pound and everything. It's crazy. So we created this in-state competition where we would actually track the number of completed passes, completions, by each quarterback. And then also, to add another layer to that, we brought in 2 animal shelters, one in Cleveland, one in Cincinnati, and they were the designated shelter for the program. So every pet adoption over this 12-week program would contribute toward the number of completions or completed pets with a home, completed families. And then at the end of it, we'll see who wins, Cincinnati or Cleveland. To launch the campaign, we needed to generate some awareness, so we hosted a media day at each of the shelters that we designated for the cities, one in Cincinnati and one in Cleveland. We utilized Carson Palmer and Derek Anderson for those media appearances, and secured a ton of local media, broadcast, print, online, you name it. We even conducted satellite interviews with Carson Palmer on ESPN. We did another couple interviews on CNN, and we had an Associated Press reporter come out and write the story. So not only would this program receive the local attention it deserved, but that AP story actually ran in the New York Times, it ran in the LA Times, it ran in the Washington Post, so we were able to generate a lot of coverage for this, again, Ohio State-based program, but also getting the word out about the national program for the people that don't care about Felicity Huffman. They care about Carson Palmer. So a ton of coverage right off the bat, generating adoptions. Actually that day we had a reporter actually adopt a cat at the event in Cincinnati. And then over the next 12 weeks during this competition, we provided regular updates to media. Cleveland had 20 completions and 20 pet adoptions this week. Cincinnati only 10 and 15. And this was a way where we were providing updates to actually sustain awareness and media coverage for the campaign over, again, a 12-week program that had a tremendous launch, but really didn't have a lot going on, in the time between the start and the end. By the end of the program, we were able, in Ohio, just through those 2 shelters, actually generate 3,000 pet adoptions, which is pretty great. And if you're wondering, IMS did reach their goal of 1 million pets that year, which is tremendous. Again, 8 million pets are homeless each year and 4 million are euthanized, but IMS was able to take care of at least 1,000 or at least 1 million pets in 2008. Now, in addition to just getting pet adoptions, IMS was generous enough to donate 10 pounds of pet food for every adoption and every completion that the quarterbacks threw during that 12 weeks. So we actually donated 15 tons of pet food to Cincinnati's shelter and 15 tons of pet food to Cleveland's shelter. So I know it's a long time till October. You can definitely rescue a pet whenever you'd like. But this October, please, when you're considering either getting a pet or your neighbor's considering getting a pet, or you're just watching a football game, please consider adopting, because it definitely, Nancy can speak to this. She actually rescued her dog. It's something we talked about, and I guarantee you it's so much more rewarding than going to Mission Viejo Mall and going to the pet store and looking at the cute pets and seeing South Carolina right there, and knowing what that pet actually went through. I'm sure the other pets went through a lot worse. So thank you very much, and